me out. Hear me out. And I never thought about this till you just said it. Because I believe this, and people think I'm a masochist, but I'm not. I think you needed to see those zeros. I think you needed to see those zeros because that was the official rock bottom.
Yeah, that was a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one of those things where like you'll look back on it in 20 years and goes, I'll never see those zeros ever again because it was the holy crap moment.
Yeah.
Right. That it was the shifting of the like, oh, this is like, so this is all gone. I've got nothing and I need to figure it out from here. I've had those moments. I've been there, you know? And so I look at it as the defining moment in who you are because, and what we'll get to now, like you're locked back in, you know, and it's not easy, but you're locked back in, you're working out, so like, tell us what you think the shift was, kind of tell us what, is it surrounding yourself with people that support you, that have a different point of view, just an outside point of view, or was it Alec dealing with Alec? Like, what do you think was the catalyst for all that?
It was both, actually. So talking about Jesse again, so he's been a huge help. He's like a big brother to me. And when you and I were on the way to California, him and I were on the phone, and I got this realization when I was talking to him because he was telling me stories about how, you know, he's been where I've been. And like, he's like, dude, like everyone that's successful has gone through what you're going through right now. Like you're going to be okay. And you are exactly where you're supposed to be at in life right now. Actually, no, that was from a different mentor. Mm-hmm. But I realized that like everything was going to be okay. And like, I was supposed to be going through this stuff because it's preparing me for what's next. And then I hired a couple went through like this coaching program with my two mindset coaches. And when I was on the initial call with them, I was telling them what was going on. And they're like, you know, what's really cool about this? You are exactly where you're supposed to be at in your life right now. You're not supposed to be any further along. You're not supposed to be behind anything. You're supposed to be exactly where you are right now because that's preparing you. And it was that realization that I live too much in the future and too much in the past and not enough in the present. And, you know, I'm naturally a visionary, so look into the future, but that also swings you right back into looking at the past. So if you're always looking to the future, you're always going to bring yourself back to where you are because you're on this pendulum. And so it was kind of those two conversations. And then you and I spent a lot of time together and, you know, got to hear your viewpoint, and you encouraged me a lot of, you know, that everything was going to be okay. And, so I think it was that, and then getting myself back onto like a dead set morning routine. I started, you know, following the program of what my coaches were teaching me as far as like getting back to your morning routine and like setting up your day for success every day. So every day I do this must crush list now. And then I booby trapped my life by setting a series of alarms that go off throughout my entire morning routine. So I don't even know like how I could tell you how it goes, but like really my morning routine walks me through it itself. It's alarm to alarm to alarm to alarm to alarm. So I don't have to think about it. And it's one less decision that I have to make every morning. So getting on that and then just being like that traumatic life event, that's like, it jars you out of your pattern. So it's your pattern interrupt that took me from, okay, I was comfortable, like, even though the business wasn't doing great, like I was like, okay, we're going to be fine. Like with that. And it was like, okay, now you don't have somebody else to rely on anymore to help like carry some of this weight. It's all on your shoulders. And the only one that's going to figure this out is you. So you have to keep moving forward or you have to go get a job. Which one do you want to do? And I'm a terrible employee, horrible employee. So
I really think that you would be the worst employee on the
planet. Yeah. Horrible employee. Literally told my last boss to fuck off because she was pissed and she was screaming at me, and that's how I got fired. And
so you're back in your morning routine. You're getting your thoughts right.
Yep.
This last deal that you had, was that the first one since the breakup, or
second? Yeah, so I had
Second,
a land deal that I was working on, and
so
then
the first one after the thing, you said you got back locked in, you started getting back in your systems, and you decided you were going to go off on your own. And
yep,
then what was the first deal for?
it's a land deal for like $4,500.
4,500 bucks. And then the second one that just happened, what was that one for?
30.
30 grand.
Yep.
See, guys, like he's not, no, the rainbows aren't shining and the gold, the road's not gold, but at least, but at least his ass is out of the fire. And that's
Right.
because he didn't mail it in. He's put in a ton of work. And I'll be honest with you, like I've never said this to you, but those couple weeks, man, you were flailing. Like you were just all in your head.
Yep.
And I respect that is part of the that's okay. And I think that's me as a coach is really hard for me to see that because I was that way for so long, but I have to understand that everybody's on their own path, right? And so that was part of your path. And guess what? It won't be the only time things go bad. But now you have a deeper understanding and a stronger mindset around not spiraling, right? And I think
Right.
that's really the key. Because I was like when I spiraled, like we're talking about weeks and months. We're not talking about like a day or two.
Right.
Now I can yank myself out of it in like an hour or two, which I think is pretty cool.
Yep.
But that's really what we're talking about here, guys, is just creating, but more importantly, I think this is and something I want to talk on as I'm newer to the city. I don't think, and I almost know for certain, I don't think there's a better supported community of investors than Phoenix, Arizona. I don't, hands down, this community is top to bottom. They're amazing, and so when you get around guys like that, they don't let you slide
Right.
because they'll call you out on it, and that's when if you're surrounded by losers, then they'll just go, "Oh, that happens." No, no, no.